Hold up. Shit. You could say whatever you want at the poker table, cause I just don't give a fuck. Poker Table Talk, the podcast we do for GP. Definitely not PC. Suck my wee-wee, and if you don't like it, move out the way, nigga. Beat. Yeah. What's going on, people? Welcome to Poker Table Talk, the podcast you do for GP. Definitely ain't PC. You don't like it, suck my wee-wee. And today's guest, I got my boy. This is a long time coming, my guy. Actually, we started comedy together within a few weeks, right?
Yeah, we did, man.
I remember used to wear like fucking like low hats and shit,
still.
and you like talked like real slow, and you looked like you was about to rob somebody.
No, I remember you had just won, I think, the Comedy Vault contest.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember you had the first joke I remember that I heard from you was I made instant oatmeal easier than
yeah. Anywho, that voice you heard is no other than my boy Mike Bain. Oops, wrong button. And it's funny, that joke I feel like that joke got stolen from me from at least two different comics, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fucking
I heard someone else doing it pretty similar.
Yeah, I heard somebody now. I heard first person I fucking think stole was Hofstetter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did he used to come around?
Bro, he came around a couple times,
he's
bro.
A weird dude.
And I heard he's a piece of shit anyway. Like,
I've never heard anything good about him.
I've heard bad shit. And then fucking like, I just happened to watch. Somebody sent me a clip, and it was like, "Yo, bro," and it was my joke,
yeah,
bro. And I DM'd him because I felt like I was being righteous, you know. And of course he didn't respond. I was like, "Bro, like, what the fuck?" You know what I mean? But whatever.
I had like a couple times where I assumed, but it was like, you know, like the older New England comics, but not even the headliners, but like the professional fucking
comics,
the professional middle acts.
Yeah.
Or like the guys that are just openers, been doing it 30 years, just opening, same 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple of them, like, I was doing topical shit, but with like, these were my initial killer jokes,
right? As
I was just an open micer at the Vault,
right?
You know? So and I know they're
proud
thinking,
of these jokes.
They're thinking, "Oh, I can just fucking take this kid's shit."
Yeah,
like, well, why wouldn't they?
Right?
Like, and then, and I'm like, "Fuck!" But then, thankfully, you know, this was topical shit. It was about like the Octomom was about Michael Phelps smoking weed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta let those go anyway. These dudes held on to him for like 6 years,
bro.
I'm gonna show, and the dude's like, "Hey, you remember Octomom?" And I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, and, you know, there's a couple comics, right? There's a couple like on like you ever been to Slade's and shit?
Yeah, I didn't say it's a couple.
So there's
times.
a couple like comics on the black scene. This is one dude. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I think when he goes on the road, he steals my jokes, bro.
Yeah.
Like this fucking. I'm not talking about Jonathan Gates either. For somebody thinking like it's like some other dude, right?
Is it a Massachusetts guy?
Yeah, I'll tell you off air. So fucking every time he sees me, right? Like you know when like. Somebody asks you something real specific about one of your jokes. Like, why are you even thinking that deep about one of my jokes, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, what's that joke you do? Like, when it's like, oh, that's the first thing you got to say to me when you're like, yo, I know you stealing my shit on the fucking road, so fuck you, man.
I had a dude, a Boston guy, I'll tell you after. And I was telling him a story about when I would work at Gillette Stadium and I saw Bill Belichick at a concert, right?
Yeah.
And he
Bill
goes,
Belichick?
dude, yeah. And he was like at, so Country Fest, like I built concerts for years, and Country Fest is
at Foxborough, right?
Yeah, it's the drunkest fucking concert you have ever seen.
Yeah,
these people,
it's Country Fest,
dude. It's out of control.
What kind of country are you talking about? Confederate flag country?
I mean, it's a bunch of fucking Yankees pretending that they like. It's a
got
bunch of girls who live in the city who put on like a cowgirl hat and
short
boots,
shorts,
and then they're dancing.
Country for the day.
Yeah, they're dancing. She thinks my tractor's sexy, and I'm like, you fucking frauds.
You know what's funny about country music? Like. You know, like, every other kind of music, like, they fucking, you know, they talk about what you expect them to talk about, but then, like, you know, they'll tear off about, like, and talk about shit that, like, you know, like, you'll have, like, rappers who, like, oh, that's way off the spectrum of rap.
Yeah.
But country music, they really are just talking about what the fuck they did that day.
Yeah, they do.
It's like the most basic form of music. It's like when you listen to it, you be like, yo, you can like literally picture like, oh yeah, I've had a day like that.
It's just a dude narrating his life.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Exactly.
And it's honestly, it's the laziest form of music. I have built concerts for every type of music for almost every major artist, and the country dudes, like 50%, half their songs are just covers of old music, like AC/DC and shit, and then the rest is theirs. But like, imagine you went to a concert and the dude just did other people's music.
Dog.
That doesn't fly in any other
no other
genre.
He's just like, I'm just gonna do someone else's song because I'm too fucked up.
I saw Belichick there, and he is his beautiful, gorgeous.
Was he
model.
partying or he was just
no?
there?
He was just standing there with his hoodie on backstage, with his hands in his pockets in the hoodie, and his gorgeous model wife is grinding on him, and he's just sitting there stone-faced like a statue.
He's just always in Belichick mode.
Yep, just permanently, like nothing.
You think he fucks like that?
Yeah, I think that's like. I think he's emotionless. I think that's the only way you get that good at coaching is you just you feel nothing.
Yeah, he's a psychopath probably.
I told this other comic that story, and he goes, "Oh, that's good. You should use it on stage. Use it on stage, or I'm going to use it." And I'm like, "It's not your fucking story.
Yeah, right.
You can't use my story.
Yeah, right. The
you weren't there.
You, right. That's how some comics are, man. It's just like there's another comic too. I'll talk about like, and you know who I'm talking about, bro. Fucking, he's like, you know, them comics that are so desperate for material, like they just like everything they hear, like this dude, like you'll literally, and I heard mad people say this, and he's done it with me. Like you'll be talking, like before the show, you'll say something funny, and y'all on the show, he'll go say that shit, like going up next, he'll go say that shit right on stage. Dog. You know what I'm talking about?
What are his initials?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just pull it up. I'll pull it up on Facebook and show you my phone.
Because it's down between two. I didn't think about him, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, oh my God, he's the worst offender of that shit.
He's pretty bad with that. He also has just a shitty attitude towards fucking everything.
I'm
not a big fan of him.
He just like there's some of them comments and just people in general who are just like, you know, their energy is just bad all the time. Like you're you're just a drain to be around. You know what I mean?
I have to explain this to my friends all the time because they think hanging out with comics is great. I'm like, dude, it's the worst.
Right,
like we're cool and we know cool dudes, but most of the time you're just hanging out with a bunch of nerds. You're in a green room and you're just waiting to say the wrong thing so someone can like write a message to you afterwards.
Oh shit, my fucking phone is connected to it.
It's all good.
So it's just dinging. Oh my God, that's brutal. We gonna. Oh my God, group text, bro. Like that's unnecessary right now. All right, we'll turn that
I've
down.
explained that to so many people.
Yeah, it's like half these fucking. A lot of comics are fucking. And
I'd say like 80% of them.
In New York, you've been in New York a while. Is it the same?
I was down there for 2 years. It's even worse, dude.
Yeah, I went to New York. I did a bunch of shows in New York throughout my years, and it's like I remember. I don't know if this is whatever, but I remember when I first time I went to New York. You know, I had that allure, that comedy allure. Like, I'm going to New York. This is where comedy, like, this is where comedy is. And, like, you get there, and you think you're just going to see nothing but fucking just grade A talent. And you go there, and, like, these people are worse than the fucking people. Yeah.
Dude, it's
just more of the bad. It's like, it's so many people, so you get more of the good, but it's even more of the bad. You know what I mean? Like, I see comics, and just like, bro, like, you're like, what like, everybody, you know this, Tyler. There's some comics you see where it be like, bro, what made you want to do this? Yeah, like, you're not funny, you're not charismatic, you're not witty, you're just shitty.
No fucking around. There's 90% of the people I met in New York in comedy. Minimum, dude. It's just you meet these people and you go, dude, you were never funny. Right. You never made anyone at work laugh. You never made your friends laugh. Also, because you don't have any friends.
Right, you don't make yourself laugh.
You at no point in your life you don't make women laugh. You don't make anyone laugh. Right. Like, no one, dude. No one. Like, and somehow you got into this? Dude, that's so weird, man. That's like a dude with a 2-inch dick being like, I'm going to be a porn star.
like you've never satisfied a woman ever.
For you, man.
There's no market for you.
Dude, the best way to explain like New York was, especially New York comedy, is like, you know when there's like a pretty girl that everyone in your crew wants to fuck? Yeah. Like, I did this recently. I banged this girl that everyone had wanted to bang. She would never let me bang her for years.
Pause real quick. Was she Spanish? You got a real fixation for Spanish bitches.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I hear you on that. Them bitches are beautiful, though.
Yeah, they are, man.
But anyway, back to your story.
She, no, white girl, Irish girl, but I meet her at, I bang her at a wedding, and everyone's like, how was it? And I go, it was fucking awful. Dude, she wouldn't suck my dick.
Oh, yo.
And I ate her out. She refused.
How old was she?
She's my age, so
she's
32,
too old to be
33.
saying shit like that. I feel like that, and this is be funny. It'd be funny when some girl will do some shit like that, right? And then you don't call her back, and then she act like you're crazy.
That's what happened. Yo, she wouldn't give me a hand job either, dude.
Yo, dang.
I went down on her right away just because I was in the mood, man. And then I sit back, and she goes, I don't want to be a bitch, but I don't kind of do that. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't do that?
Whenever you're about to get a blowjob, right? Or you think, I should say, and the girl starts saying anything, you already know it's going to be nothing you want to hear, bro.
I go,
it's never, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dog? It's like, we're adults, you know what I mean?
Part of the game.
Right, dog, that's standard procedure.
Yeah, don't sign up if you don't want to play.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying you have to, because you got to say shit like that nowadays, but it's like, it doesn't look good on your resume.
No, you have to. You have to. Ladies, don't. You have to. All right? Yeah. Jason won't say it, but I will.
Yeah, but it's like, it's so weird to be like, dog, like instead of standard procedure, you know what I mean? Like, if y'all feeling each other, y'all getting down to the get down, you know what I mean? It's just like, and then it'd be funny, and then you'll see girls like that who don't do shit like that, and then they'll fucking go. You see them on social media, like, I want to find a man. You have no chance of getting around. You think a guy's not gonna? You think I'm gonna fuck with you?
She is exactly that girl. That is she.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't suck dick. You have no chance to get a good guy, dude, or any guy for that matter.
She goes, "Oh no, I don't want to. I don't like that. I don't do it." And I go, all right, you just stroke me, give me a hand job. And she goes, I don't like doing that either. I don't like the work. And I'm just like, I'm just like blown away. And I'm like, I took like a 30-minute Uber to get here. Like, oh, dude. And then I'm like, I guess we'll fuck. And she goes, you got a rubber? And I go, you make me wear a rubber? Oh my God. Like, I could, if I could smash you raw, like, it would make up for some of the other stuff, but, and then she messaged me again, and I was like, no.
I'm done. I'm not doing, a girl will do that if she goes on a bad date. I'm supposed to fucking call you back if I have bad sex, dog.
I was like, and what, that's such a Boston, New England woman thing. Like, New England women suck. They're the fucking worst.
Mad entitled, dog.
Dude, they are the most entitled women. Going to New York taught me so much about other women.
Dog, it's so funny with like Boston, like bitches in Boston, right? It's like they got these attitudes. It's I broke this down to my boy like years ago. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not like, but maybe it is in black community, but I feel like there's more men than women. I mean, more in Boston, certain, all right, put it this way. In Boston, dudes are mad horny, dog. It's something about Boston. We're just mad horny, dog, right? Like, every guy in Boston is pretty much a Haitian man, dog. You know, just mad horny, right? So, fucking, every bitch in Boston gets hollered at, like, 10 times a day. Like, just in passing, going through their day, right? Mm-hmm. So, bitches who are, like, and I broke this down to Trent one time. I said, so, like, in Boston, you got to spit grade A game to 6s and 7s and 5s and 4s. That's why most dudes, whenever I go to other states, it's so easy for me to get pussy. It's so easy because because you got to put so much work. It's like right here, like we're Spartans out here. Like we just put through the meanest training, some of the best warriors in any situation. You know what I mean?
It's like going to the minor leagues when you go to Cleveland.
Right. So it's just like, he's spitting all this crazy game to get these fucking they even that good looking at bitches, right? So these bitches get all these bitches in Boston be thinking they like 8s and up, but it's like you don't really look that good. I don't know why I just did it because I was trying to fuck. You know what I'm saying? So they get to that, and then you go to other states and you be like, these are actually good looking women. Like when I went to New York. Like 3 years ago, my boy, shout out Isaiah Thomas. Whatever the fuck happened to you, show up. I don't know if he's dead or whatever. He was this comic, and he like kind of did comedy, and he fell off. But shout out Isaiah Thomas, and he lived in I don't know if it was the Bronx, whatever. I always get confused, but it was a 100% Spanish neighborhood, dog.
Probably
when
the
I
Bronx.
say just gorgeous women just walking, I'm just like, nah, these are girls I should be spitting this type of game to, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but I don't know, man. They just got attitudes, bro. You know what I mean?
It's something to do with the culture here because no one in America gets hit on more than New York women. From day one, they come out the womb, the doctor spits game.
Right.
Till like when a girl leaves her house in New York, dudes holler at her all day. I was doing it, man. I was living with a Puerto Rican dude,
in New York?
and just like I just
How do
use
you even
apps.
get it?
I would just because I don't drink anymore, so I can't go to bars. I don't go to bars and clubs like that.
Right.
So I would just use Tinder and OkCupid and all that stuff. And there, like, dude, this isn't me bragging.
Yeah.
This is honest to God. I'm just a regular dude. I get nothing. I'm not a handsome fucking dude. And I took the stuff from Patrice and Dante Nero to heart. That helped me a lot. But also,
Like the confidence factor, right?
Dude, I had a rotation of 5 girls, man. And they were all different ethnicities. I could never do this in Boston. I could never do this. Literally 5 different flavors, and I pick one out a fucking week. It was unreal. I didn't buy them shit. I didn't take them places. I just fucked them, dude.
Yeah.
I explained this to Boston dudes. I'm like, we got like how women are just the worst because they're also just bad in bed. Like Boston girls won't give up anything, and you know what? We always
more Caribbean bitches.
Yeah,
them bitches are wild.
We gotta.
My ex was Caribbean, dog. She they want to fuck all the time, and they be going. If they like you, bro, they go hard. And Haitian bitches too. You fuck Haitian bitches?
I've never had a Haitian
girls. The thing I love about Haitian girls, I fucked mad Haitian girls in my life. They don't play around with the pussy. If they like you, they gonna fuck you, dog. Like they don't pussyfoot around it. Like they like you, they gonna fuck you, dog. Like believe me, I'm at least 20 in my life, dog. Haitian girls, and I'm not saying they hoes. It's just if they like you, they're just gonna fuck you.
They're
dog.
just they're honest about
yeah,
sex.
dog.
Their
Like if they
doesn't
like
hide
you,
from
they gonna fuck you, dog.
That was
You know
my
what I'm saying?
experience with Brazilian girls.
I never had a Brazilian girl. Them bitches there's a lot of Brazilians in this complex too. Some of them bitches are gorgeous.
Dude, I
dog.
almost fell in love with this Brazilian girl. Almost had me run away to Brazil with her. I came close, dude. I thought about it really.
Like seriously.
Yeah, dude. Like really hard, man. Like I had heard stories about Brazilian girls. I remember Patrice O'Neill talking about them.
Yeah, he was obsessed with them bitches.
And then I had one. Like she came to New York and stayed there for a week.
Just hang with you?
So she was staying with family, but like every day she'd come and hang out with me. And she had me doing like, I'm going to like churches and cathedrals to look at them, like tourist shit, taking her to secret places around the city. This is my favorite part about foreign women, right? She's like, she only speaks broken English. Mm-hmm. And she's like,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh,
she's
man.
like, I'd never have real American cheeseburger. I go, you never been to Five Guys? And
yo, that's what's up, dog.
Dude, I took her to Five Guys, and she was like, "This is the best thing ever."
Are you shitting me?
Yep. I go, like, any of the American girl be like, "Five Guys, you broke ass motherfucker."
Oh,
I go, do you want some?
Shut up, the Brazilian girl.
I go, you want some peanuts? Because Five Guys gives you free peanuts.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah. I go. She goes, can I have more? You have all the peanuts you want.
And you feel like you was the man.
Dude, she had never had cream soda or root beer before, so I gave her that.
So she was just amazed by
she
like
was
the
blown
simplest
away.
shit.
Dude, and she just wanted to be a woman. Like American girls,
they don't want to be
fight
women
you
anymore,
for the manhood.
Dog, they challenge it for no reason.
She wanted it to.
You know what I always feel about women in America in particular, right? Is like you see these women, like you said, fight for the manhood, right? Mm-hmm. And then you see those women who actually obtain that, and they're miserable. They're miserable, dog.
Dude,
they hate their lives, bro.
I met those girl comics in New York City that were like, I remember watching this several of them in particular. Yeah. I won't name them, but they're not that good. They're not good on stage. Just had good podcasts. Yeah. They're successful. They're performing in clubs every night. They're making loot. They're doing well financially. They're living in Manhattan. They are living the fucking dream.
Right.
Living the dream, but they're single in their 30s, going into their 40s, and they are rough. Miserable.
Yeah, they
no kids, no man. Just they have everything you should want in life on paper, and they're miserable.
Yo, dog.
Like they're on stage complaining about their ex-boyfriends when they could bang any dude in the city.
Right.
It's dude.
And the ex is from fucking 3 years ago.
This is exactly what happened, man. But dude, the Brazilian girl, and
Where'd
I know
you meet her at?
Tinder, dude.
Ugh.
Telling you, she had met me on Tinder before she even came to the country.
Oh, so
she had just changed her location, and we were swiping. We talked. Same, like, dude. I met Middle Eastern girls. I fucked this girl from Kazakhstan. I was like, dude, I've never met anyone from Kazakhstan, right? Like, this is amazing. I just know Borat. That's it.
Yeah.
And I was like, they want to be women. Like, that was what I realized, especially with, like, Latin women and foreign South American, Eastern European women.
And Latin in particular, the mothers and aunties, they teach that shit to little girls. Like, it's not shameful to be a woman to your man. It's not shameful to take care of your man.
It's not shameful.
It's not. It's actually encouraged because most Latin women, highest honor is being married. That's like their highest honor, dog. Like when a woman's getting married, like yo, that's just like
being a mom is something to be proud of.
Yeah, exactly, dog. So it's just like it's crazy you say that shit. But let me ask you something. So in Boston, as a black person, like it's racist here. We all know that.
So yeah.
So
So
it's like sometimes white girls are kind of scared of niggas, dog. You're scared of black dudes. Like I fuck white girls. I'm from Boston. You know what I mean? But some are like just more apt. It's like it's easy to be racist in a place where there's not that many black people because it's like you're not getting judged on it so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like you said, you fuck these fucking Brazilians and all these other bitches, and a lot of the races in Boston kind of tailor their shit off white racism. If you they hang with a white girl who might be like a little stereotypical to black guys, she just mirrors her behavior. You know what I mean? Like I've seen black girls do this shit. Like they hang with a bunch of white girls, they don't talk to black dudes. You know
dude,
what I'm saying?
I worked a job with all Latinos. And they were fucking so racist.
Yeah.
Dude, the Dominican dudes, like, this is something I tell white people, is like, dude, Africans hate black American people.
Yo.
And Cape Verdeans, like, my Cape Verdean boss.
Cape Verdeans are brutal.
My job was mostly like Dominicans and Cape Verdeans and then all other Latin countries. And they were all from there. And it was just me and this one black dude named Patrick. And they would talk shit about both of us. But, like, the Cape Verdean boss, dude.
Brutal.
He would.
Brutal.
The shitty. I was like, I can't believe you have a job.
Brutal.
I can't believe you have a fucking
brutal,
job,
dog.
dude.
Them dudes are brutal, dog.
I was like, damn, dude.
I met some cool Cape Verdean niggas, but the ones who, like, because people sometimes be thinking I'm Cape Verdean, so, like, they'll say shit in front of me. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, dog? You know what I mean? Like, people are fucking crazy. Now, back to my original point. So, if a black dude was on Twitter in New York, where you was at, could he be as successful as you?
Yeah, dude, any dude could be successful.
All right.
Because it's a melting pot. And, I mean, but also dude, here's the thing. It's a numbers game.
Right. I always say that when people don't understand that, it's like dudes who don't get pussy are stupid because it's like, bro, haul out enough girls. One of these girls is gonna fuck you. It's not like, oh, the hottest girl shot you down, so you give up. It's like she shoots down dudes all day, my dude. Like me, it's like 1 out of every 10, dog. You know what I mean? Like y'all had 10 bitches, you probably fuck 1 or 2 of them. You know what I mean? And it's like they don't understand. Like you just gotta put enough fucking tokens in this fucking machine until something hits, dog. You know what I mean?
New York City like I would go to these open mics, these comedy shows, and I would watch these loser comics on stage. Like I can't get girls, or I can't find a guy, and I'm like, there's 9 million people in this city.
It's you.
There are 24 million people in the metropolitan area. That includes Jersey, Long Island, and Westchester, which is right above New York. All right, 23 fucking million people, not including the tourists who come in and out of the city every single day. And here's the thing with women. Women won't fuck dudes around their neighborhood or in their crew because then because they don't want you to tell everyone else what she's into. Oh, that Katie ate my ass. Like, they don't want that. So
they're not guys. They don't get off on knowing the crazy shit. Dog.
If they know they'll never see you again, they're so much more likely to fuck you.
Right.
And that's something you can do there is you can just bang a girl and just disappear into the sea of people.
Right.
You can pick them up on the street, at bar. Even bars and clubs sometimes when I was out doing that. It's possible, but it's also it's all about confidence, man.
That's all it's about.
You can be a dude You can be in a wheelchair. You can pull it off, man. Your numbers might be low, but you can do it. It doesn't matter.
And like me and my boy Dot, he was on his podcast 2 episodes ago. Me and him and I could say in our worst days, we was the worst of the worst. Like, you know how girls think men are dogs? We was them guys. Dog.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm that dude.
Yeah, I already know. Like, we was those guys, dog. You know what I mean? So, and it's like a lot of dudes who's like, me and him we go to bars, and me and my dudes, like a couple of my dudes, like 5, we was professional pussy getters, dog. You know what I mean? Like, we would go out. If all 5 of us went out, somebody fucked that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes I used to hang out with, right? We was professional pussy getters, right? And then like we would see like little like we'll come into contact with somebody, will hang with us for a couple weeks, he'll start getting pussy, dog, right? You start putting people in position to be like, sometimes like you kind of have to force the dude, like, all right, there's 2 girls here, you with this dude, yo, you're coming with me, dog, like, I'm gonna force you to fuck, dog, tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, we're going in, these girls live 10 miles away, we're gonna drive to their crib, I'm gonna get this pussy tonight, and you're gonna be with me, and feel free to get the other girl's pussy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but that's what it is, like you said, it's the confidence, and a lot of dudes, like, they overthink this shit, dog, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get shot down, so the fuck what? Like, get back in the game. Like,
yeah.
If you go to a club, right? If there's 50 girls in there, you should at least have tried to holler at 10 of them.
Yeah. The key is to take away all the power from them.
Right.
Like, the key is to reverse the tables and be like, I don't care if you fuck me.
Right.
Like, dude, I honestly, when you deny a girl, and I've done this, it's honestly just as good as sex.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. When she's hitting you up and you go, no,
dog. Yo, their minds can't even process that. Bro, bitch, I used to fuck her, right? She used to call, like, I stopped fucking with her every once in a while. I might, if I'm drunk enough, I might fuck her, but it wasn't like the consistency wasn't what she wanted. You know what I mean? And like sometimes she would come, I'm like, no, I just don't feel like it. Or I just don't want to see you. Like,
I ain't in the mood.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. Like, and they say that to guys all day, but you say it to them, and it's like you don't want pussy, and it's like, especially, and maybe it's just I've had so much pussy where. Like, I'm like, now when I fuck, like, I'm looking for an experience. I want to see how crazy this girl can get. Yeah. Like, I want to see how nasty she is. Everybody has a specialty. I'm always looking for their specialty. You know what I mean?
Find a Muslim girl.
Yeah. Yo.
Those are the kinkiest women.
Hold on. I'm going to say, keep that thought. I'm going to say something after I say this, right? So, and there's some girls who have terrible vagina. They don't know it, and guys are never gonna tell them because they want to fuck them, right? So like this girl in particular I'm talking about, she'll call me and it's like, yo, like you call me, like there are some girls who can call me at 2:00 in the morning on any given day, and I'll jump up like, I'll take that over sleep right now. But there's some girls who can't do that, dog. And it's like the ones who can't, you like yo, your pussy's not that serious. I would rather sleep and be energized for a job I don't want to go to tomorrow than have sex with you.
Your pussy has a lane. Let's keep it in it.
Right. Exactly. But you know what's man funny like about Muslim girls? There's a lot of Indian people who live around here, right? Yeah. And I was talking to Aunt John one time, and he doesn't fuck Indian girls because he just doesn't want anything to do with anything Indian.
He doesn't. He's only into white girls.
Yeah. But he told me, like, he's like, Indian women and Muslims like the most susceptible ones to cheating. Because they're just they live in that bubble where they can't do anything. They just want to act crazy, dog. Like,
dude, the Indian girls, whether they be Hindu or Muslim, but Muslim girls and Indian girls are very sexually repressed. Yeah. So when it comes out, dude, it comes out like almost everyone.
What type,
just like
what you say?
Just immediately slap me, and I go, like I didn't even take my pants off. Wow, like I expect some girls like it rough, but like right away. Crazy rough. I had this Indian girl call me a colonizer when I was fucking
Black Panther shit?
Like, yeah. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was like, she was from India, right? And
there's a lot of those here. And it's funny, like, you see them. Right?
So
they look so miserable. Because a lot of them, it's like at least 30 arranged marriages on this property. Bro. Yeah. Easily. And they look miserable. And then, like, not to shit on Indian guys, but that's the most swagless. That is the most swagless group of men on the. They have no swag. You've never met a girl who's into Indian guys. No, There's not one girl in the world that's into Indian guys. They are like they got the skin of black people. They got the fucking like like the goofiness of white people, and then just all the style and swag stripped out of it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
the game of Asian dudes.
yeah, right, dog. Yeah, they're just like swagless, and you see them, you be like, bro. And it'd be funny. You see all these dudes, like these fucking engineers, and you know these dudes are making $400,000 a year, and they still fucking eating packed lunches that their fucking moms made them and shit. It's like, bro, go buy a fucking Mercedes and go get some pussy. What are you doing?
They creep hard.
Yeah,
Indian dudes creep more than any dude. Like if you talk to any girl who's like an insta thought, like any girl who does like booty whatever shit on Instagram, she will tell you. Indian dudes more than an Indian dude. This dude will be living in a shack, right? And he's just shooting it. I gotta give it to him because they shoot their shot,
definitely.
But it's awful. And like I know this girl on radio was Indian. She would show me the messages she would get, and they were like so,
what?
Dude, it was just like broken English, like let me marry your feet, like not even
just gross shit.
But I was on Minda, which is Muslim Tinder, right? Dude, I was on all of them. I was on the Jewish apps. I was on J-Date.
Yo, that's a lot of work now.
I went on this thing called Dill Mill, which was for Indian bitches.
It's hard not trying to balance my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You got
Dude, I was on Chispa. That's where you find the fine-ass Latinas.
Chispa?
Chispa. Badoo is a Latin app, too, but that's the ugly bitches.
You said what?
Badoo is Latino.
I heard of that.
But the girl, dude, Badoo has the worst women I've ever seen. Like, if you're just like really down in the dumps and you want to pound something out, get on Badoo. All right? But Chispa has the finest
like
Latinas.
The bad bitches, though.
Dude, like the best, like some of the best girls I ever met were on those specific apps. I met a Dominican girl. She was like a MILF, and I met her off Chispa, and we still talk. Like, we're friends. She was so fun. And then on Minder, I met a girl who was...
That's the Muslim one.
Yeah, she was Haitian and she was Haitian and Afghani, and
she was good. She looked good.
Dude, she was tall. So she had like light skin, like Afghani hair and skin, because her dad was Haitian. She was tall and thick.
Oof.
And she gave I would never tell her this. She gave me the best blowjob I've ever had in my life. And I was so like, she drove into the city an hour to see me, and I was like, I can't do this. I was so mad when I had to leave, and I was trying to get her to see me one more time, and she wouldn't. I was like,
she's in New York?
Yeah, but she lived like out of the city. But, dude, like, I remember talking to girls on Minder, and they would all swipe on me and then be like, "Are you Muslim?" And I go, "No." And it says I'm not in my profile.
They get excited,
but they would still swipe on me.
Yeah, and
they would talk to me for a while, and they would tell me stories.
What kind of game do you spit to Muslim girls?
Dude, it's all the same thing. No. It's all the same shit, dude. Women are women. They think they're fancy and special. They're not. Bitches are bitches
it's
are
the
bitches.
Same game you spit to every chick. I know exactly what you mean, Dad.
And because it's not about them, it's about you. Yeah. It's about what you make them do for you, and how you present yourself, and the fact that you don't give a fuck.
Right.
I know your profile said you need to marry a Muslim dude. I don't fucking care.
Right.
You still swiped right. Why'd you swipe right on me?
Right.
But Muslim girls would tell me about how, like, the dudes are so sexually repressed, too, that they take out all their anger and frustration on the girls. Like
slapping them and shit?
Like, well, that, but also just putting them down, man.
Just being shitty to them.
Just treating them awful. Like, this Egyptian girl was telling me about how ruthless, like, it was in her home country, about her she couldn't walk. Like, girls here get hollered at, but they get scooped up. Like, it's a whole other fucking thing.
What do you mean?
Like, fucking dude might drag you in an alley or something. Wild shit.
That's terrible.
Or even then, when they do holler at you, it's not just like, "Oh, what up, bitch?" It's some real vile shit.
Yeah.
And she but like this girl on Minda told me that a guy said, "You're a whore." And she goes, "Why?" And she goes, "Because you're wearing white." Because she had on a white suit, man. Like, so those girls are so desperate to get away from that.
They can't do it right. Yeah, that's what Anjan told me.
They're so used to like being like
put down.
Having it like you come along. And I had this talk with I shouldn't. I don't know. This is my dude. I don't want to say his name.
Fuck it.
He's a comic in New York. Great fucking dude. I want to give him props. But we were talking about American. He went to Brazil, and he told me about his experience. And
everybody who goes there, it's a fucking religious awakening.
We were talking about it is, dude. It's like Mecca for pussy.
Yeah, right.
We were talking about American girls versus foreign girls.
Go to Brazil after COVID.
And he's like, dude, you can go to Syria and find a girl who's a 10, right? She's in a refugee camp. You dust her off, bring her home. Right. She's going to cook for you and suck your dick for life and love you, man. American women, like, dude, I look at, like, dude, so, like, I spent a lot of time in New Hampshire, and my cousin's husband, you know, they have an amazing house because this dude built it. He's a carpenter. He built a fucking house.
So he's a beast.
He's like a man's man. Built a house in the winter by himself beneath a mountain, like real fucking countryman shit. And like he works like 60 hours a week, comes home, and she's like, "You gonna build that extension?" And I'm like, dude, if I came home and I had built a woman a house every day, I'd be like, "You sucking this dick, or are you going homeless?" Like, I would never let her live it down. But American, especially New England girls, American women, you give them everything. It's like that Chris.
Not enough.
Is that Chris Rock joke? You could fuck a bitch with a diamond dick and she still complain.
The dick is cloudy. But it's like that's just so true, dog. It's just like it's funny. Like I've dated a bunch of girls, and it's like. The main thing, like, that always, like, is a deal breaker to me is when the girl acts like nothing is good enough, dog. I hate that shit. It's just like, yo, fuck you after a while, dog. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, it's like, I don't know where this entitlement comes from. And it's like.
It's part of our culture as Americans.
It is a part of our culture, but it's just like.
But it's really bad. Like, my friends always called it the Boston 4, right? Because you meet a girl in Boston who, like, if she was in L.A., she would be a 4.
Easily.
But here she's like a 6. But she still acts like an LA 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like,
I heard that before.
And it's unfathomable that they're so just rude and mean and they give nothing back. And I tell my dudes from Boston, I go, you guys got to realize when we leave here and I go to other parts of the country, like dudes in LA, especially white dudes, are fucking bitches. Yeah. Like white dudes in the rest of the country are real pussy. Yeah. And like they're just suburban white dudes, and they let girls walk all over them.
You know what's so funny about that? It's like it's so funny, like being from Boston. That you say that is that like you know like when you hear like even black people talk about white people, it's always like this goofy nerdy. But it's like I'm from Boston, like. White people where I'm from are violent, dog. Yeah. Like they're not pussies, dog. Like the white people from Boston are not like how like that stereotypical white guy is. Like you just like Boston white dudes are turned all the way up, dog. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And like, you meet a dude from Omaha, and you go, "Oh, right. That was." Yeah. I remember watching Def Jam, and I would go, "Where are the white dudes in me?"
Yeah. But anyway, back to your story. Hold on 1 second. Pause. Go ahead.
And then I'd be like, who are these white dudes DL Hughley's meeting, right?
I was watching someone DL Hughley earlier.
But out there, the dudes won't talk to the girls. They don't fuck with them. They don't talk shit to them. They don't mess with them. They give them no attitude. And so when you come out there as an East Coast dude and you give them attitude, they're blown away.
Yeah,
they don't know how
like,
to handle
you,
that.
Dog. Right.
They like you fuck with them. You bust their chops. They're like, whoa. But also, like. For me, like here, my accent means I'm dumb and poor. Right. That's what people hear when they hear my accent, right? But when I travel, dude, especially down south, people are like, man, what country are you from? Every dude that I've been asked, when I was in New York, I got asked, are you from Ireland? Are you from the UK? Are you from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa? Damn. And I just lie. Dude,
yeah, sure, why not?
I'm exotic to them. Here I'm nothing. I'm trash.
It's like
out there, I go up 2-3 points on the ladder.
Mm-hmm. It was like fucking Patrice that you said that earlier when he said like men in America get treated like fucking like you get like you're treated like you're not Superman. But everywhere else you're Superman.
Yeah,
but like you just get treated like you ain't shit.
It's like Superman goes back to Krypton.
Yeah,
and like,
he can't jump that high.
Yeah, we can all fly, motherfucker.
Right. Exactly. Dog.
Dude, I went to Mexico City for the Patriots were playing the Raiders in Mexico City. I went down with my friends and
to Mexico.
Yeah. And my friend had he just works here at the convention center. He's like a barback. He just gets drinks with people.
I used to work there too.
And so nothing fancy, but because of like his company, he was able to get a deal at the W Hotel. Mm-hmm. So we're staying in this amazing hotel. Like the Raiders and the Patriots, the hotel's right next to us.
Oh.
And
so
dude, we're going
bitches just all over there.
Yeah, but you're going like I'm going out and I'm getting 5-star steak dinners for $20, man.
Oh,
I'm
man.
living large.
Oh, yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, dude. I've never lived in a place where my money goes that far. I traveled to Europe, and in Europe, I feel even broker than I am in America.
Oh, hell yeah. Europe
it's the worst.
Your dollar don't do shit in Europe.
And I feel, I'm like, but only that, like, there's no one like me. Like, there's no gingers in Mexico.
That doesn't happen.
So, like, I'm getting attention from women, dude. I hooked up with, like, a model, and I almost didn't leave. Like, dude.
You say that every 10 minutes.
Dude, this girl, I remember just,
she was Mexican?
thinking, yeah, she was Mexican girl.
Yo, but, like, model, like.
And she was like, I never been into models because they were thin, but the way she made me feel about myself.
Right. It
was like.
Stroked your ego.
Dude, it was like I said about letting me be the man and her being the woman.
Right.
But it was just like, and like, I'm just
and that's not a put
nobody
down,
and nothing.
Right.
And I was like, here I am. Like, I'm in this hotel. I feel amazing. Like, you're like a first world dude. I can feel like I own this city.
Right.
People want to talk to me. They're interested in me.
Right.
They're like, where are you from? Like, girls are talking to me. Dude, I came home and I had been dating my ex at the time. And so I came back.
She didn't know, obviously.
She didn't know. She still doesn't know. Hopefully she's not listening.
Found out.
And, dude, I came back. And it was right before Thanksgiving. And I was having a lot of family problems. I didn't go home for the holidays. I had issues with my dad. And I remember coming back and I look at, I sit there. And
that red shoe.
Honestly, dude, it's
the other one.
I fucking cried, man. Like, I was like, my life sucks, dude. I came back to America. I'm broke. I get nothing. Mm-hmm. I hated my relationship. Right. I was miserable.
Oh, I know that. Toxic. I know. I've been in a relationship this. Like,
we had been together for almost 7 years, man. I was
miserable. That's a long time.
I hated, and I remember just being like, why did I leave Mexico, man? And she caught me and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, I could shit with my family." Complete lie. I was just thinking if I stayed in Mexico, I could just be eating fucking steak. Muffins and steak and drinking hot cocoa and hanging out with models. And right now, I'm in your parents' attic.
You broke down.
Dude, I was like, my life is horrible, man. And then we broke up like a month later. And I go,
"Oh, you got to break up, Dad."
Dude, that was one of those like where you just let the relationship keep going because you don't want to man up and end it.
Yo, and this is like, it's so funny. It's just like, I recently just broke up with my girl, bro. That was probably the hardest break I ever did because I actually did love her and shit. I love her more than...
I loved mine too, man. That's what makes it hurt.
Yeah, and he loved any girl in a relationship, right? And, but it was just like, you know, it's just like, and I'm not talking about her in particular, but all my breakups, I'm usually the one that breaks up, and it's just like, I learned early, bro, in relationships, like when you break up, it's just like, dog, just have that sad 2-hour conversation. She's gonna cry. She's gonna use all those women like emotional tactics to get you to like try to renege on what you're because you know what, like it's like do you remember the girl I used to work at the Comedy Studio, the Russian chick, the tall one?
Yeah.
What was her name? I feel so silly. Sarah? Was it Sarah?
I can't remember.
But you remember she spoke different languages and shit? And I remember like years ago when I was gonna break up with this chick, and she just like noticed like I was like just chilling, and I was just like, like when when you're so like miserable, you'll just open up to anybody.
Yep. He's talking to a bum on the MBTA.
Yeah. It was like that, and I was just like we was talking, and I was like, yeah, I'm fucking thinking about breaking up with this girl and blah 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 and yada yada. And she told me the realest shit, and this is one of the things that have stuck with me my whole freaking life. She said, if you're thinking about it, you already made your decision.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's like the realest shit ever. And she told me that shit. And it's like, in that same day, I went home. I was like, this is not going to work, dog. You know what I mean? And every time I get to that point where I feel like that, I'm like, yo, this ain't going to work. Like, even like my ex I used to live with probably 3-4 years ago, bro. It was like, I had to break up. I had came back from my boy's wedding. I had to break up with her. I had nowhere to live because we were living together.
That was my situation too. I was living with my ex.
I had no money.
Nowhere to live.
I had no money. I had nothing, but I was like, I know this is what I have to do. I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, if I got to sleep on the couch, I had my son with me, dog. Like, I had a lot of shit. Like, it wasn't just going to be just a breakup and I just go, my mom's house and shit. And it's like, I just had to do it. And it's like, it's just like, it sucks, but it's like a relief, dog. It's like when you like when your stomach's bubbling and you're rushing home to take that shit. It's like that. It's like it hurts. And even while you're shitting, it still hurts. You know what I mean? But it's like it needed to happen, or even worse things are gonna happen, dog. And
yeah.
It's like,
no, you got to do it, man.
You got to break up, bro. You have to, man.
I was waiting for her. I was hoping so bad she would cheat on me, so I could leave like the hero. Where you're like, please suck a dick, please just fuck anyone, and then I can be like, you bitch, and then I pack my bags and leave.
But that's the thing too. What I learned with breakups, don't ever try to leave on high ground. I'd rather just leave on my ground, bro. Leave. Just leave on my ground. I don't care about like, bro. And I learned this shit. Like, yo, when you break up, bro, she gonna tell her friend you're a piece of shit, dog. She gonna you're a piece of shit. You never cared about her. Of course, she's gonna say that, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who gives a fuck, my nigga? You're probably not gonna see this girl for a long time anyway. Like, she's gonna talk shit about you. She's gonna boom whatever. But it's like, what's my point? Your sanity. Or your fucking ego, you know what I mean? It's like, I need my sanity more, my nigga. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's funny, man, because I remember she was like, she told me, she goes, if you don't go to therapy, I'm gonna fucking dump you. And dude, I went and it helped save my fucking life, dude. It worked. It worked, man. I was a miserable, angry,
you went to
alcoholic,
therapy?
man. I went to therapy, dude, and
this is the girl you broke up with?
Yeah, I don't come from an environment where you do that, man.
Right.
Like, where I'm from, if you go to therapy, you're gay. Or, that's like, it means you're gay or weak or pathetic or you're a psycho. It's something you should be ashamed of.
Right.
And I was like, I can't go to. And then I remember I went to the therapist and he was this nerdy gay white dude. And he had like a W.B. Mason mustache that curled up. And
the Pringles can?
I wanted to, yes, the Pringles can. I wanted to rip his mustache off his face. But like by the third time, I realized I was learning shit.
About yourself?
Just like, so it's mental tools that I just never, I didn't come from a culture where you have mental intelligence.
Yeah.
Like emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Where you don't realize, I'm angry because of this. This thing in my childhood made me this way.
It connects dots and shit.
Yeah, and
I've never been in therapy, but I've heard people talk about it.
I had never had that, and I ended up going, and it, like, eventually my therapist, starts leading me. He's like, seems like, and I'm going in, I'm like, I had a fight. I was in the hospital. And he's like, it seems like alcohol seems to be a recurring theme, Mike. And I go, fuck you, no, it isn't. And then it was like, eventually I was like, fuck, it is. And and he was leading me towards like realizing that my girl, he was like, because whenever I'm in there, I would just be complaining about her. And he's like, and when I finally go and breaking up with her, and he goes, I could tell he had wanted to tell me. Yeah. He couldn't be like, you need to break up, but he was just trying.
Lead you down that road.
He was leading me there to be like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it's working too well.
Dude, I knocked it so much, man, but it helped me, dude. It did.
A lot of people I know went to fucking therapy. You know what I mean?
I was a mess, man. I was a real fucking mess. And once I put that together, I got happy, dude. Mm-hmm. And once you get happy, you can get the women you want. Because this is what I always explain to dudes. Like, when you go to a club or a bar and let's say there's two groups of guys, right? And some girls come in. Mm-hmm. Do they want to hang out with the dudes who are mean mugging, sitting there fucking looking for fights?
Nah.
Or the dudes that are laughing and having fun?
Right, it's the energy.
Yeah, man. No one wants to be around fucking negative people, especially women. They don't fucking want that shit.
They came out to have a good time, bro. Yeah, right. That's what they came out for, to get free drinks and have a good time.
Yeah, that's free drinks. That was a beauty living in New York City, man. I didn't buy any girl anything.
Yeah. So what was your whole? I
take them for walks in the park, or I would go to cafes.
Bro, you know who's the king of free date pimping, dog?
Yeah,
Kofi Thomas. Bro.
Kofi, I can see that. Kofi could do that.
Kofi, dog,
Kofi could do that.
And when he breaks it, he broke it down to me, and it was just like, it was some crazy shit to me, bro. I was just like, Kofi's that nigga, dog. That's my dude. He called
Kofi's
me.
Kofi's a good dude.
Yeah, he's that dude. The Garden Gang, dog.
I remember talking to my friend here who he's from Dot, but he lives in Quincy now, and he's like, he's single. We're talking about. He goes, dude, it gets expensive going all these dates. And I go, no, it doesn't.
Right.
He goes, what? I go, dude, I maybe buy him a coffee. That's it.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, what? And I go, don't pay. I was like, well, here's the thing. I take him to like a cafe bar, and I'm sober, so I'm like, hey, I'm sober. I don't buy alcohol. That gets me out of that. Right. And other times, I was just like, I'm very straight up and honest with him. I tell him exactly what I want. I don't.
In what way?
Oh, so early on, the important thing when you're talking to a woman on an app is to get her off the app. You want to figure out...
Get her a number
or get a number.
Like,
you want to get her on the phone, and then you want to meet her in person, because most dudes are just dicking around on that. They're not ready to meet.
Right.
So, but you want to talk to her, like, on the phone. Like, when I call a girl on the phone...
I need to talk on the phone.
They're blown away. They're like, dudes don't call me on the phone.
I don't...
Dudes just text.
Dog, I don't understand what's wrong with dudes. Like, yo, you can get in a fucking 30 to hour-long conversation. You can get... 2 weeks of texting just out the way, bro.
Right away. Right away, you know her. And right away, as soon as I talk to her, I know if we're going to fuck.
Right.
I know right away
so
if
back
we're
to
going
what
to
you were
fuck.
saying, no.
But you do that, you get them off, and then I'd be like, what are you looking for? And women always give you some convoluted bullshit.
Right.
And even if they say want a relationship, I go, I'm here. I'm looking for a girl to have fun with on a regular basis. That's the only thing I'll kind of... And I do want, like, I want regular pussy. I don't like one-time pussy.
Right.
Because if it's regular, you get to fucking figure it out over time. She figures out what you like. You figure out what she likes.
The evolution of sex is a beautiful thing.
Oh,
bro.
dude, that's the most magical part,
man. Dog. It's so beautiful, dog. I love that.
That's my favorite.
I love looking back on where you started and where you're at.
Where you went.
Like, yo, you fucking swallow now. Yeah. You're doing great out there, dog. Like,
you find her.
It's a beautiful thing, bro.
You got her from like church, and now she's taking it in the butt.
I got lube in my room. The evolution is a beautiful thing.
It's a magical thing, man. But it was. Like I would get him off there right, like as soon as I could, talk to him on the phone, and that would blow him away,
right?
Because they used to guys just being pussies.
Hey, how you doing? A million of those fucking all day, but anyway.
And then just get him out, take him out, and I would always be up front. Like I am very brutally direct and honest.
You
with
have
girls.
to though,
and it eliminates bitches who play games,
right? And
the girls who appreciate it really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like
tell them what your intentions are right away.
Right,
no fucking time wasted.
It's like fucking it's like throwing out bait. You know what I mean? You throw it like I'm a avid fisher, dog. I fish a lot, so it's like you throw out a certain bait. It's like if you throw out a bait this big, right? I'm got my whole. You're only gonna catch fish that can eat bait this fucking big, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Like you throw it out, whoever doesn't want it, that's cool if you don't want it. I'm just looking for the one who's trying to bite this shit.
You're not trying to catch every fish.
Right, right.
That's the problem.
And that's what a lot of guys' mentality is. Yep. It's like, bro, like I'm not here to fuck every single girl here. It's like I'm just want to fuck one, dog. Yeah. I'm just here to fuck. I only got one dick, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like that's a lot of fucking dudes. Like they misconstrue shit. Where it's like, dog, you only need to fuck one of these bitches, dog. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of dudes have too much pride about getting pussy.
You get pride and your ego out of there,
dog. It's
pride
like I remember
your enemy.
I remember when I was like in my younger days, dog. Right, and this is when I used to get girls off the street all day. And this is before Twitter and all that dumb shit. Yo, if I saw a chick, like, let's say a chick was walking up the street, I'm not even going, I would turn around, talk, and I would just start walking with her, and my boys would be waiting, like, yo, I'd be like, bro, that 10-minute walk is worth me. If I fuck this girl, that 10-minute walk was worth the fucking 10-minute walk to fuck her, my nigga. You didn't take a walk and you're not fucking no bitches, dog. Like, why wouldn't I walk for 10 minutes to get some pussy, dog?
No one wants to put the work in.
Yeah.
No one, and that's just for life, man. It's like comics who want to be famous but don't want to work.
Right.
It's rappers and musicians and artists who want all the glory but none of the fucking work, man.
Right.
It's the same. You don't get the pussy if you don't work for it, man.
Simple as that.
Every once in a blue moon, it'll
get
fall
some
on your
accidental
lap.
pussy, dog.
Every once, and some dudes still fuck that up.
Yeah, I know, dog.
Like, dude, I remember being at the Comedy Studio, and there was this girl there who wanted it bad.
From you?
So just anyone I could tell.
Yeah.
But she was like leaning on towards me. But here's the thing. I was with my ex, and I had driven her car to the show, and I was like, you can't do this, you piece of shit. And she was like, she was letting me know. She's like, she started shitting on Rick Jenkins, and I go, I already like you. Yeah. And it's just a usual fucking. She is a usual dum-dums who are there, you know, the nerd fucking comics. Right. And none of them are, like, going after her. And they're all single dudes, and they have no idea what to do. And I'm like, she wants it.
From anybody.
And
anybody who puts their dick
I
on
started
the table.
giving her attention, and we're talking. She's like, yeah, I'm just here for vacation on the weekend. I go back to Baltimore tomorrow.
Oh.
I have an Airbnb next door all to myself.
She just put the whole thing out there, dog.
Jason, I was sitting there going like having a talk with Jesus, like if you fucking do this and you drive home in your girlfriend's car that she lets you use to go to comedy shows because your broke ass doesn't have one, you are a piece of shit, Michael. You're a piece. And I was like, dude, and then I remember leaving the studio and she was just sitting there. Like, she was so aghast that I wouldn't fuck her. And she's sitting there on, like, a bench. And I can tell she's on Tinder swiping. Just trying to get any dick. And I drove around the block. Like, I had a second thing. And then she was gone. I go, fuck.
You hit the brakes. Oh, damn.
But I had one of those moments, like, you know when you're, like, looking at yourself and you go, dude, I can't. Like one of those piece of shit moments, you know, when you're questioning yourself.
Yeah. It's like, what am I doing right now?
And sometimes you give in.
I've had 2 fucking potential threesomes thrown out the fucking water, man. One time I was at Nick's Comedy Stop, and you know that dude? I always forget his name.
Old black dude who got shot?
No, not Sammy. The short dude. He looks like Triple H.
And he just hangs out
there.
Dude,
you're amazing.
Yeah, I know that dude.
He's like, you were here. You know that dude, right? He had these 2 bitches, beautiful Spanish. I was just looking at them just because they was there, and I was with my ex, right? And I was just looking at them. My ex goes to the bathroom, and they go to the bathroom too. And my ex just comes back, and she's like, "Those girls want to fuck you." I was like, "What the fuck you talking about? They don't even know me. They're here with this fucking dude." I'm like, "Whatever." She's like, "Nah, I'll tell you when we leave." I'm like, "Oh fuck, whatever." So I guess she was in the bathroom. Like, they had 3 stalls. She sat in the middle. Those 2 girls walked to the left and to the right. So they're talking to each other.
They're
like
having a conversation
over the stalls, right? They're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And she was like, she told me that they said like, it was like, "Yo, let's just." I guess that short Triple H dude, he had some blow on him. She's like, the girl. She told me this is what the girl said. She said, "Let's do all his coke and go fuck the host."
That's such a girl thing too.
I was me. I was like, so I guess they were talking about me. Obviously, I was hosting that night. So I guess when they all came out the bathroom, was at the sink. They just my ex and the 2 girls, they started talking. Obviously, these girls are fucked up or whatever. Yeah. And then they're talking. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to party tonight." They're like, "Yo, that host." Like, they're talking to her about me, but they don't know that she's my girl at the time. Yeah. They're like, "Yeah, like we're gonna try to fuck him." And then she was like, "Yeah, you should go try." And then she's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend's out there." They're like, "Oh yeah." So they all walk out together. And it's like, "Oh, who's your boyfriend?" She's like, "The fucking host." Like, just you fucking bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah. And another fucking time I fucked up a threesome for me is just being a good dad, dog. Right. Yeah. So I like, you know me, like, as long as you know me, I've had a son. You know what I mean? Like, so I've always been hustling and bustling, right? So I had before my son was like old enough to like chill, like by himself without me like worrying too much, I would have to drop him at my mom's and be like, and I would have to negotiate, like, "Yo, Ma, the show's at 8. I swear to God, I'll be here by 9:30. You know what I'm
I know what the deal is.
Like, so I'm just like, all right. So I went to, it was actually supposed to be, what the fuck, that Just Hilarious, right? Mm-hmm. She was supposed to be at Laugh. This was like a couple years ago. And she didn't show up because her plane got canceled or whatever. So it was just like, they called like a bunch of cons, like, "Can y'all just do a show for these 30 people that are here?" Because all the other people was like, "I want to go see Just Hilarious." You know what I mean? So it was probably like 30 people in the audience. And I'm just joking, blah, 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 doing these fucking jokes. And I just noticed these girls just keep looking at me and shit. And they laughing at everything I'm talking about, right? So I walk out. So whatever I'm done, I walk out of the fucking, I walk out of this thing. And these 2 bitches are waiting for me. In my just cold ass Massachusetts by the water. Like, it's not summertime, bro, dog, right? So I'm walking outside and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, oh, what's going on? She was like, oh, I liked your little comedy thing you was doing
little
there.
comedy thing.
It's always little, right? Always little.
They can't give you a real compliment.
I was like, yeah, what's going on? I was just like, you know what I mean? But when they're talking, they're like, yeah, we just chilling. We trying to find something to do. I was like, oh, what are y'all, girlfriend and girlfriend? Just talking shit. It's like, what makes you think that? I was like, y'all are clearly lesbians. I said that. I was like, y'all are clearly like whatever the fuck. So they just talking, and they tried to get me to come to their house in the fucking Brighton, but I didn't have the time frame to go all the way to Brighton, have a threesome, mind you, and then fucking, you don't rush a threesome.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
And then fucking get all the way back to my mom's crib and shit. I had got their numbers, but it's like there's certain things you just have to do in the moment.
You ain't gonna get
and it was like, yeah, I hit them up like the next day, and it just wasn't the same vibe and shit. But they was telling me to come through. I was so mad, dog. I was. Oh my god, I was mad, dog.
It sucks when you go to be a good person, but it's also like when you do that piece of shit stuff.
Yeah,
like
it feels good too,
dude. Oh man, me and this girl I was dating, we're gonna have a threesome with this chick, right?
Yeah.
And I went to pick her up, and we had met her like. Offline through like
obviously,
yeah, and
well, else you gotta meet somebody to get
and so it was like through like we had I don't know, it was like it was like Thrinder or one of like
what's Friender threesome?
Yeah, it's like Thrinder. I think they changed the name now. It's like
Field.
You know
every fucking
dude, I know, dude. I was like, I don't want to be in any position where I'm fucking around with a girl who's been drinking.
Hello. Hey. Okay. You gotta give me a couple minutes. All right. Fuck him. All right, let's go.
So I'm like, I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm fucking around with a girl who may have been drinking or I don't know anything like that because where like I don't know her intention, she doesn't know mine. In today's climate, dude, I'm not taking any fucking chances. You can't be rolling the dice
like that, dog.
And I don't want a girl if she's fucking intoxicated. That's gross to me.
Yeah.
But
like sloppy and
yeah,
shit.
and or even like, dude, I don't want to. I want no chances, man.
Yeah.
I don't want that
misconception.
Yeah, and so like I go to get this girl, and I had called her. And we have been texting, all three of us, and she seemed normal.
You had like a group text? Like a
yeah, but
text?
I started noticing that she was a little weird, right?
She's a white girl?
Yeah. She was a little weird. And then I call on the phone, and she's sounding weird. And I go pick her up.
She's even weirder?
She gets in the car, dude, and she looks at me, man, and she just kind of, it was creepy. She just turns to me and then puts her eyes on me and just looks up. Like there was something out of a horror movie, like this creepy smile. And I go, are you on acid? And she goes, no. And I bring her back to my place anyway. I should have been like, no. I bring her back to my place, and I go, and I could tell my girl doesn't like her, but for whatever reason, she's not saying shit.
Was she good looking?
She was pretty. She was like a college girl. And so I'm like, all right, let's do it. I go in the bedroom. I get naked. The other girl gets naked, and I can tell my girl wasn't
feeling it.
Yeah. But this other chick gives me head. Dude, fucking amazing.
It was worth it, dude.
And then finally it got weird, and I take her home. When I come back, my girl was going to fucking kill me. And I should.
Did your girl join the whole time?
She wouldn't touch the other girl.
She would fuck you, but
she was just touching me, but she wouldn't touch the other girl. And her dislike for the other girl. And the other girl was weird, but she was like weird but good in bed weird.
Yeah.
Like,
was this the same girl? Yo, you know it's mad funny, right? I remember one time me and you did a show years ago. And I had no idea what type of sexual deviant you was at the time, dog. So I had given you a ride, and you had me drop you off like somewhere in Jamaica Plain.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, because I remember like we were talking, and then you started talking all this. I was like, yo, I didn't know Mike was on this shit.
I'm a piece of shit. I've actually calmed down, dude. I'm actually like, I grew up, man. Like, once you get us, like, what you do is you translate all that shit into how to just fuck women, into how to keep them and foment a relationship with them, and how to be a man.
Right, and that's literally what it is.
Dude, like, I recently had a girl who was just like, oh, just come smash me whenever. Like she was like lesbian. She had a girlfriend. She goes, I cheat on her because I love dick too. I was like, I just fucked this dude last night, and I go, I'm good. I was like, I don't want to. Now I know your pussy's been everywhere, and now I don't want to.
A little more exclusivity than that.
Nah, man. And I was like, in my olden days when I was 22, I would have been there,
been all over.
But now I'm 34. I'm like, fuck that. Right. I actually want like a decent woman.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I grew up, man.
Yeah, when you fuck so much, you know what I mean? Like, and it's such a reverse thing. I don't understand why women are so horny in their 30s. Like, that's just a mean thing that God did to women. It is. Because this is like if you doing your 20s right, you probably got a lot of pussy in your 20s. Any guy who's doing his 20s the right way, and it's like you do that shit, and it's like pussy doesn't have the same value it did in your 20s. You know what I mean?
No.
So like just the thought of sex, yeah, you got your normal perverted. You look at every girl's ass that walk by, that normal man shit, dog. You know what I mean? But it's like every offer on the table doesn't spark your interest.
Yep.
Dog. You know what I mean? Like it's like. There's fucking girls who like I used to fuck, or maybe I even would have fucked before, and like I said, they hit me up sometimes. I'm like, I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not even worth it. Just my time isn't worth it.
No, your time. When you know you're a man and you're grown, when you look at it, like when you realize how much time you wasted on pussy.
Yo, dog, it's ridiculous.
And you realize I'm not gonna waste anymore.
Yeah.
Like, dude, when I was 22, 23, I would have crossed state lines for some ass.
I have crossed state lines.
There were times when I would, dude, I remember like taking the MBTA, like red line to orange line, taking a bus, just
middle of the night, dog.
Yeah, dude, middle of the night, get a text at 2:30 a.m. I got work. I'm like taking an Uber and just being like, oh, fuck it.
Bro, you know how many random ass towns I ended up in? Fucking getting
Same
pussy.
here. I know. I only know places outside of the city of Boston because of pussy and comedy. That's just those two things.
Those are the only two reasons I know how to get around Massachusetts. And it's like, you know how many fucking times like you know like when you're like, and this is like, let's forget about before I had a car. I'm talking about my bus days, right?
Yeah.
When you had your bus,
I was the same thing,
and it was like, you know, like when you're like. You meet with this girl, like boom, boom, boom. This is before like phones are like the real prevalent in life where you can do everything with your phone. And you get on a bus and you're so lost, you gotta ask the bus driver, let me know when we get to this stop, and then you get to this stop, and then you're like, all right, well, where do you live? And then you gotta walk down streets, and it's like, yo, like, dog, like, I'm forcing, you're forcing it right now, but it's like, the horniness is just driving you.
Dude, I did that. I was in the Czech Republic, and I was in Prague, which is the biggest city, and I took the subway to the last stop. Now, I don't speak Czech. I don't know the language. I then managed to get a, and so they'll speak a little English around the tourist areas, but where I'm at,
that's
I gotta find like this Eastern fucking Europe, dude, like cows and cots. I gotta find like a taxi driver. He doesn't know where it's at. No one speaks English. I managed to get to this place.
You're meeting a bitch?
Yeah, and it was like, dude, I was like, this was a lot, Mike. This was a lot.
Yeah.
This was, dude, I was still getting fucked up then. I remember like, I was fucking this gypsy like hooker, and which was gypsies do not they are. It's gonna sound fucked up, but they're a people of thieves. Like it's just part of their culture. Like in the societies they go to, they just steal.
She robbed you?
No, but she like. So she got me to go out to like the middle of nowhere at like this like. Like where you rent a room. Yeah. It's funny. They have one of these in Roxbury. I went there with a hooker before too.
Good for you, man.
Dude, I think it was in Dorchester or Roxbury. It was the most random place ever. Mm-hmm. Like, it was in the days of Backpage, right?
Oh, wow.
Dude, like...
Wow.
Dude, I used to use before Backpage, what was that magazine? The Phoenix.
Oh, the Phoenix.
I used the Phoenix, dude.
Damn, you was really about this life,
dude, I didn't lose my virginity till like 21. And I had been a fat kid through high school. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how to talk to women in college. And everyone who was at UMass was fucking. I wasn't fucking. And so when I finally got it out of the way, I was like, I gotta fucking do this.
I gotta fuck, yeah.
I was like, I had all this anger and energy. I had to get the fuck out. But dude, I remember like this gypsy girl being like, you pay more, you fuck me, no condom. And I go, no.
No.
No, I'm not, I just met you on the street, bitch.
What the fuck
You're
is
like,
that?
you are the only, like, I've met girls on, like, hookers online, but you are a streetwalker.
Right,
Like, this was this was me being like, you know when you go on vacation and you eat too much? I was doing that with hookers, right? I was like, I can fuck a streetwalker on vacation, man. This shit doesn't count. It doesn't count. Different time zones, different countries. Oh, that was some grimy fucking shit, dude.
Oh, damn. You put yourself in that was a situation.
I used to, dude, the amount of times I've put myself in situations, man, like
dangerous situations.
I was in Mexico City. I took an
Back
Uber
to Mexico City
to meet a girl, and I got there, man, and she started acting weird on the phone, texting me through like Tinder, and I start getting, you know,
nervous.
I'm like, all right, I'm getting nervous, and I get to the location, and my service is getting spotty, and I look out, and I'm in a slum. Like a real third world
like a
fucking slum.
Yeah.
Like I look outside and there's just a stray starving dog just staring at me, and I'm sitting there, gringo as fuck, wearing a polo shirt.
Right.
And I turned to like the Uber driver and I go, dude, I'll give you however many pesos. You drive me right back. And he was a church dude. Yeah. He started bringing me to see cathedrals in the city in the middle of the night. Yeah. And I was like, I was gonna get fucking rolled. I know. What was like?
You know when you're getting some bullshit.
Like, but dude, back in the day, I used to like the excitement of like when I was selling drugs or picking them up or trying to get pussy, and I was in a like even in Brooklyn, man. I went hiking in New Hampshire in the woods, and I was petrified 2 days ago, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, you've walked into East New York, the murder capital of Brooklyn, white as fuck at 3 a.m. with a fucking bag of coke to sell it to someone in a blown out fucking apartment building, and you knock on the door, and I'm like, am I gonna get fucking rolled? Is this gonna happen?
Is this what's about to happen?
I used to live off that excitement, and I was like, this isn't how it is. It's that when you're young, I feel like you confuse excitement with happiness.
Right. Yeah.
You think that it's that excitement. Excitement can be exciting.
Yeah.
But it ain't happy, man.
Exactly.
Happy's chilling on a porch or fishing with your kid, man.
Yeah, dog.
You know, like I hang out with my cousin's kids now. They're 5 and 6, and I read to them, and we fish, and I'm like, this is happy, man.
Right, chilling. Like
this is happy.
Like with my fucking son, like I go fishing with him, and he likes it. He's like a kid. He could do it for 2 hours. If we don't catch nothing, then he's done with the shit. You know, he's a kid. You know what I mean? But like when we chilling, like, you catch a fish and he gets all excited. I'm like, yo, this is what's up. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I know what you mean. Like excitement and happiness is not the same. Thing.
I remember I would bring shit. I would bring shit on planes with me, like. And, you know, I'd have, you know, some coke and some pills in, like, my shoes, rolled up, stuffed in, like, my you know, checked luggage. I remember one time, like, me and my friend get stopped, and because I have, like, a ton of, like, weed food in my, this was before it was legal, man. Yeah. And my friend's sweating. He's sweating. He goes, dude, I don't know what I have in my bag. And I got, you know, like, $800 worth of cartridges and weed. Yeah. And he's like, what? He's like, you ain't nah. And I realized I wasn't even being fazed by it. Yeah. And it was just that we had gummy shit. Yeah. Like, we both had gummy. He had real gummies. I had fucking fake gummies. But I also just knew, like, I had a friend who was a pilot, so I knew TSA doesn't check for drugs. They're checking for bombs. Yeah. Like, that, if they find it and it's very clear what it is, they'll, like, call someone in. Right. But that's not what they're looking for. Right. Like, he told me about times he watched TSA find bags of weed and just be like, fuck it. Either take it or stick it back in.
I'm not doing the fucking paperwork for that.
Nah, man. And I realized, like, dude, so much of that is just, even when I was chasing women, I was like, I'm just lonely and I want excitement.
I'm bugging right now, right?
Dude, it was like, when I was in New York City, I was just, I was lonely, man. Yeah. Because it was like, I didn't have any friends or family out there. I just had other comics. And a lot of comics are fucking fake. Yeah. And I can't fuck with fake people. You can't deal with
that shit, dog. And that becomes way more prevalent in your life as you get older, dog. Because it's like, and this is why and this is actually why, like, when you get older, you stop fucking with so many bitches, because you went through your 20, you know to pick up on signs. Like, you be like, yo, this bitch she's about some bullshit. This bitch is trying to get money out of me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You smell the crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like saying, like you said, with like people who are just fake. It's just like, yo, I don't, like, when you're younger, you'll put yourself in an uncomfortable situation because you don't want to be ostracized. You know what I mean?
You're afraid of what people think.
Right, exactly. But when you get older, you're like, I don't give a fuck, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if nobody's fucking with me. I'm not part of this. I don't want to do this, and then that's it, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just don't give a fuck, which makes women want you more.
Exactly.
It's funny, man, because I only fucked with crazy girls for so long.
Bro, all I meet is crazy bitches.
I finally got to a point like where I'll meet a girl and I'm like, you could be good for me, and I get scared and I got to deprogram this. Like, we replicate the relationships that we saw growing up. Right. And my dad is an abusive alcoholic who's drinking himself to death, and I saw him just denigrate and destroy my mother for years. And they had a miserable marriage, fighting, just mentally just destroying the woman he's supposed to love and protect in front of me. In my, like, that was my whole thing. And I was like, I can't replicate this. I can't replicate being a piece of shit to women or a negative fucking relationship. So, like, I noticed when I would meet a girl I liked who was good for me, and she'd be like, I like you, I would start thinking of ways to fuck it up. Bro. I would subconsciously try and fuck it up, dude.
Bro, you know what it is? It's like, and as I get older, I notice this, like, I'm not, like, in relationships, I'm not super emotional. Like, every girl I've ever fucked with said that shit. You know what I mean? So, it's like, after a while, you gotta, like, take heed to it. And it's like, but it's like, you know what it is sometimes with me? It's just like, maybe, it's like I've made strides in the shit. So it's just like, especially like if you with it, like let's say you're with a girl and you start like at phase 1, and like I made strides to phase 5. Like, don't shit on me, even though phase 5 ain't what you want. Like respect.
I made progress.
Right, respect what's going on, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that's what it is with me. Is like when I don't feel like, and this is like probably how women feel. When I don't feel appreciated, or at least my sacrifices and recognized, it's just like I'm that. Knowing how to break up is a gift and a curse for me, because I can do it so well. But it's like, have I broken up with girls and be like, maybe I shouldn't have done that? Of course I've done that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, at the same time, it's like, I've mastered the art of moving on. And again, it's a gift and a curse. You know what I mean? It's just like what people don't understand, right? Is like I've broken a lot of hearts in my life. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel good to do it. I'm ready to do it. It's like being a boxer. Like, I'm ready to get punched in the face. It doesn't feel good, but I'm ready. I'm still ready to get punched in the face, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's what, like, a lot of girls, like, when I break up, they think I'm taking pride in this shit, dog. Like, I have no pride in breaking up. It's like, I didn't want to invest all my time in you to fucking just say, fuck it. You know what I mean?
I don't want to waste 3 years.
Right, dog. But it's like, if that's what it is, then it's like, then that's just what it is. You know what I mean? And it's like, and you know, it's crazy in my family now that you say that shit, like replicating relationships. Like, yo, I've seen breakups that should not have happened. Yo, my grandparents split after 49 years. They're both still alive. They both live in this. They
could have just made it 50.
Bro, no, we say that shit all the time. Bro,
that is not, dude, wow.
They used to live in South End. They lived together. My grandmother moved to fucking over there by what's that shit called? Symphony Hall.
Yeah.
Over there by Mass Ave. My grandfather, he was living like a frat house, like an old man frat house. They was running with fucking bitches, smoking, drinking. This is an old man frat. It was literally an old man frat house, right? Him and my grandma live in the same building right now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but it's like they broke up. My mom, my dad broke up. Fucking, like, I've seen so many people break, like, you know, family, like, oh, what happened to him? He's just not there no more. You know, even like me and my ex broke up a few weeks ago. Like, I was at my sister's house. I was like, yo, she was there for 3 years, and like we just broke up, nigga. Like, it's just like, it's too normal to me, dog, to see her break up. And it's like, it's not the best thing in the world. It's just like, it's too normal to see a breakup. But it's just like, my thing is like, but the thing, the reason why I do break up is like, because I know myself so well at this point. I know what I can and can't deal with. And like I told people in relationships, the most important thing is not what you want, it's knowing what you don't want, dog. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of people don't understand that. Like, knowing what you don't fucking want, knowing what you can't deal with, dog, is just like, that's more important than anything else than you can ever learn in a fucking relationship.
You can figure everything else out, but you got to be upfront with, like, if it's someone that annoys you, if she acts or thinks a certain way, like sometimes like, dude, like I got on the phone with this girl and right away she started talking about toxic masculinity. I was like, yeah, I'm out. I was like, there's no way this is gonna work. Yeah, there's no way. But it all comes, man, from what you saw as a kid, and like I've realized this with dating girls too. Like some of my cousins are they're real fucking bitches when it comes to women, dude. Mm-hmm. And it's because they didn't grow up with a strong father, or my cousin's father died. The other ones, their father was weak to the wife. Right. So they end up with strong female women who dominate them. Yeah. Same thing, like, if I'm with a girl, right, like, a girl who grew up with a strong male role model can't date a bitch, dude.
They can't.
She couldn't. If a girl grew up with a strong father, she could never date like a weak dude. Ever, never. Like you notice these patterns, how it works like that.
Yeah, and that's why, like, it's like, but the thing sometimes you see those girls who grew up with strong father and they hated it, so they date weak dudes also.
Yeah.
But I know more than likely, like you said, they can't date bitch dudes, and it's like you said, everybody just mirroring what the fuck they saw as a younger in them formidable years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you need to fight to get that fucking shit out.
It's hard, man. And it's like when you get older too, you see, like, when you was younger, you know, you're kind of programmed to think that your parents, everything they do is what's best for you. You know. Yeah. Or they were at least trying, you know, and they were trying. But, you know, as you get older, you realize, all right, I like this part what my mom taught me. I don't like this so much, so I'm going to try not to do that as much. Like, I like this what my cousin and my grandmother taught me, but this works. Fuck that.
It's
I'm
like
not
a buffet,
doing it.
Dude.
Right. You pick and choose what the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
I want to be a dad. I want to have a family. I realized that during quarantine. And I was like, because I didn't want it just because I had a fucked up childhood. And I realized, you know what, I don't have to do that, man. My dad taught me good things about being strong. He also was incredibly fucking abusive, and I don't want that shit.
Right.
You know,
you don't have to want the whole thing.
I'm not a fan of drinking and driving with your kids in the car. Not going to do that. Right. I was shown that.
Right.
Dude, my dad drove me shit-faced to the Renaissance one morning.
You went to the Renaissance?
We did. I went to see
in across from Park Plaza?
Yeah, we had that Miss Frizzle bitch from movement class. You don't remember this?
You went to the Renaissance?
Yeah, I went to the Renaissance.
Yo, for real?
Yeah.
Yo,
4 years.
I went there for the whole 8 years.
4 years. I went to the Renaissance. My dad woke up.
Hold on, how old are you?
Just turned. What am I? Just turned 34.
So we was there at the same time, bro.
We were there at the same time. I was there like the first year.
Me too, bro.
Yep.
Oh shit, dog. Miss Frizzle, she did look
movement,
just like
movement girl.
It was on the mezzanine, right?
That was such a joke of a school. I was just telling someone about that. Like we had movement class. We didn't get grades for a whole year. I remember my dad looking at it and be like, what the fuck is this? And I knew what he wanted was, how do I know if I have to beat you? Like, because if it's a D, he can beat me. If it's just a sentence, he doesn't know what to do.
I remember, oh, wow, yo, you went to the Renaissance?
Dude, that place was a mess.
That shit was madness, bro.
That was, I remember watching.
Condos now.
I walked by with my brother, and there's restaurants where our gym used to be.
Yep.
I remember being like in 6th grade, and we had little buddies, and my little buddy was a motherfucker. Like they were just 2 grades beneath us. We had to help him.
Yeah.
He kicked my teacher in the face, like booted her. Her glasses flew off. Her name was Mrs. Glowinski.
Mrs. Glowinski. And she was married to the gym teacher.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, he booted her right in the face, glasses flying.
Oh, she was a big fat chick.
Yeah, big fat Colombian lady.
Yeah, I remember. She was Colombian, right?
Yeah.
She spoke. She had a weird accent. And I remember one time that bitch was weird, right? So I showed up to school, right, without my uniform on, right? So I lied. I said, "Oh, my uniforms are dirty." This bitch went to the Lost and Found and made me put on a fucking, just whoever's fucking sweater and shit.
That happened to me too. I remember that. It was like they gave me a small, so I was a fat kid just walking around with a stinky fucking tight sweater.
Did you have Mr. Gladue, the other gym teacher?
I might have.
Oh shit! You was there at the early dog.
I was
Miss
there.
Nescos.
So I remember I was there for the first year, and then that woman that quit. All the rich white people who set the school up left after the first
they was like,
year.
This is too much.
They were like, we can't handle this shit. And they tried the second year, and then the black dude came with the glasses.
Miss Dr. Harris.
Who, dude, he was in the Vietnam documentary on Netflix.
For real?
Yes.
He was in Vietnam?
He was Ken Burns' Vietnam documentary. I'm watching it, and it gets to this point where this dude is talking, and he's from Roxbury, and he's talking about how he's in Vietnam with a white dude from South Boston, and how they got along in Vietnam. They had to come home and deal with race shit. And I'm like, this guy looks familiar. At the end, he's a principal. I go, that's my fucking principal. And I look him up, and he teaches the Renaissance, which is now in Hyde Park.
Yes, in Hyde Park.
Yeah, he's on the fucking documentary.
Oh, shit, that's
that
crazy.
Dude.
That's crazy, Dad.
I remember.
I heard some wild shit about him. I'll tell you off
air.
I
did.
Off air.
Dude, the amount of teachers fucking kids now. I hope it wasn't, but it doesn't faze me. Like, we meet teachers in comedy, and they're psychos, man. I was like, you teach kids? You nut?
Yeah, you're
like, these people
out.
Are heroes, man?
Yeah,
fuck you.
I'm sick of that fucking word hero, dog.
Teachers are the worst. They're the worst government workers. They're the laziest. They don't do shit.
They have the worst substance abuse problems.
They just get fucked up all day.
From they get, it's like, but teachers, like, yo, they do a hard-ass job. They don't get paid shit for what they do.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck you gonna do?
Dude, the Renaissance, I tell kids from the suburbs about that. They stuck me in a side room with the other good kids, and we just played board games all day. I didn't do homework for a whole year, right? No one collected my homework. They didn't police us.
I remember that shit. Yeah, that shit was a madhouse,
dude.
Bro.
It was like there
was a madhouse,
there were race wars in the bathrooms, and then all the white kids left, and it was just me.
Yeah,
I go, what the fuck,
There's
dude?
A lot of black people.
A
at that
lot
school.
of fucking racist fights, man.
I remember the letter. The buses weren't numbers; they were letters.
Yeah,
I was on the K bus. That bus
was on the G bus.
Was when I say insane, bro, like, yo, I seen like so many fights on it. I remember this dude got his ass whooped so bad. Mind you, the bus driver's responsible for you until you get home. He got his ass whooped so bad, he got off like 10 stops before the bus driver let him off the bus, bro. And he walked home, mind you, with like fucking 10, 11. You're not supposed to be walking home miles from home, dog.
Dude, my bus driver was like this Haitian dude who would just drop us out in front of our houses. We made up our own bus stops, right? And one time he called out sick, and we got a substitute bus driver. And he's going by the route, and everyone's like, what the fuck, man? And people are flipping out. Oh, dude, that place was... I remember the condoms in the hallways. I was just talking about this on my podcast, how they loved corporal punishment.
Yeah.
So... when we fucked up, they made us all stand in lines on the tiles, or walk up and down the 13.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
The black gym teacher, he would always make us... Mr. George would make us walk up and down 13 fucking
up
flights.
Up and down, dog.
And if anyone said anything, one kid who always
they
a
would
fuck
add
up kid,
flights,
they would add flights, they would add time to standing in the tiles. And I remember my teacher, Miss Jones, right? And she was like, you know what? We're doing this so that you tell the other kid to stop ruining your time. And I'm like, this kid Jose is in a fucking gang, and he's been kept back 3 times, and I know he has a knife on him right now. You think I'm going to go over there with my pasty ass and be like, hey, Jose, can I fucking learn fractions? Like, he's not going to stick me in the bathroom, dude?
Oh, my God. I remember that shit. Wow, you went to the Renaissance?
Dude, this is my, like, when I talk to dudes from the burbs who went to good schools, and they talk about how people in the city just want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I'm like, you don't understand how many people get 0 education.
Dog,
and
0.
what that, like, how that affects you for the rest of your fucking life.
Right, dog. It's like, and they don't understand, like, the shit that they take for granted. Like you said, like, there's people who, like, go to, like you say, like, a school that's not even organized, bro.
Place was a mess.
It's a madhouse, bro. What they're trying to learn as they go and shit like that.
Dude, I remember they canceled Spanish classes because we had the 3rd worst test scores in the city, and they were like, we got to teach you English first.
Yeah, right.
And the Spanish teachers just showed us movies.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I watched Dragonheart in class. Right. We would just, so many of my classes, they just put a movie and a TV in front of us, and the teachers just got drunk.
Right.
Like, we did not learn at all, man.
I remember when they fucking just randomly gave us, I don't know if you was there that long, like, there was one year where they gave us every other Friday off.
Did they really?
Bro, dog, it was mad. No, they did one year was every other Friday was a half a day. And then the year after they did every other Friday was off. Bro,
They
just
I remember
ran
they
the
just
streets,
stopped
dog.
caring, dude, because they were like, we can't. They realized we ain't ready for this shit.
It was too many. It was a failed experiment.
It was, dude. It was an experiment in teaching kids. But when you fail with education, you're failing thousands of kids, right, dude? And I went
to become adults.
I went to a different charter school after that, which was better, but they still, like, I was the first graduating class, and there were 17 of us, and they still fucked up, right?
Right.
And I was the first dude in my family to go to college. My dad was like, if you don't go to college, you're going to the Pine Street and I'm throwing you out. He thought college was going to make me rich and I'd be a businessman, because all those dudes on the suburbs, they go to college, but they have connections. That's why they get those jobs.
Right.
And I remember
so much more to it.
I wanted to be like an engineering major. Mm-hmm. And I sat down and I had to do calculus and physics and engineering classes. And I was like, I've never seen this shit in my life.
Bro.
Dude, I didn't do pre-calc, never mind calc, dude.
I did that in high school.
I was so fucking, and I was so behind. I was like, dude, this shit follows you for the rest of your fucking life,
man. The good
thing
about me in high school is that the skill I've kind of relayed my life onto is that I learn shit quick. That's me. I can learn anything very fast.
I'm good with that too, but the problem in school was like, if I didn't pass a course the first time,
right.
I had to pay more money for another semester.
Again,
and I was like, I can't afford 4 years.
Right.
No way I afford 5 years.
Dog.
I'm still paying it off, dude.
Right. Yeah, bro. I know exactly what you mean, dog. Like, Renaissance was a madhouse, bro. Like, and that's funny. I ran into this girl. This girl who fucking I went to Renaissance with, and like she was like there the first year. I think her name was Christina. She was like the first like lesbian I had ever seen in my life. You know, like a lesbian was like new thing, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I knew what gay people was at an early age. Like, my grandmother lived in the fucking South End. I knew what gay people were. It was nothing to me. But it was like I remember like we was talking. I ran into her randomly like 10 years ago. And she was like, yo, going to that school did not prepare us for anything. She was like, yo, because when we went to, like, high school, like, we wasn't ready to be in high school, dog. Like people are just way different. Like, they were learning different shit. And it was like, you're mixing with all these fucking other fucking, like, racist religions, just ways of thinking. It's like, even, like, when I went to, like, I grew up in Roxbury and shit, but it was like, yeah, I didn't get into crazy. I got into mischief. I didn't get into like, yo, this dude, he's on a bad path of life. I didn't like really get into like that kind of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And like when I went to fucking high school, and I remember like, yo, the first day there was fights, dog. Gang fight, turf fight, gang war fights, dog. There was a fight every day for the first 2 months of school. First day fighting, dog. Like, and it was like, you know, these different hoods is mixing. These dudes don't get along with these dudes. Yo, I remember fucking RP to my nigga Chakuma, dog. Yo, he got in a fight in the fucking hallway, and the nigga pulled a knife on him. Was like, he was about to stab him in the high school in the stairway, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he ended up getting shot later and dying. But it was just like fucking. It was just madness. Like with that, I remember my first. I'm like, yo, this shit is wild in here, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, let me just focus on some other shit. You know what I mean?
It doesn't get you ready, dude. It was, dude, I remember like I was like one of the last white kids left, and I was cool with all the black dudes in my class. Right. But the other ones, like, I was just another fucking white kid to them. So they had no problem fucking my shit up. And I was like, dude, like, I'm about to go into high school here, and they're going to separate us, and this is going to fucking suck,
What high school you went to?
I went to... So it was called the South Boston Harbor Academy Charter School. And then they moved it to Dorchester, and now it's called the Boston Collegiate Charter School.
Yeah, I think I heard of that.
It's over on Boston Street.
Yeah.
And
but it's like my kindergarten to first grade, I went to school. What the fuck is the name of that?
I went to
East Boston. I went to school in East Boston. It was called oh my god, my sister would slap me if I can't remember the school. But I went to school with like a lot of white kids, a lot of black, like fucking, like, I was always mixed up with shit. So, and like, I used to see like my mom, like, my mom's best friend her work friend was like a white lady, like that fucking, like, I didn't know about racism until like later in life, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just like, cause they just like, when you're a kid and you put around another kid, y'all just be kids, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Well, dude, that's what I noticed at the Renaissance was it was all coming from, like, we were fighting over shit that happened like during busing in the 70s.
Right,
man.
exactly.
Like dudes would find out I was from Southie, and right away that was an issue.
They wasn't fucking with you, right?
And it was like I'm like I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know what I'm fucking 8 years old, man.
I don't know about busing.
And even then, like there was this dude, white dude from Hyde Park, who would like. He'd call fucking black dudes the N-word and shit, like right up, and he'd get in fist fights.
Yeah.
And I could tell it's like, you're too angry. You fucking, what are we,
Why
11
so
years
angry?
old?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
like,
Yo.
you're getting this. Your dad's telling you. And then I remember like
there was niggas at school.
being in school, and like it was that Muslim teacher, the woman with she had the headscarf, and we're sitting in
I know
class.
you're talking about, I can't think of her name right now.
There's two black dudes in front of me, and they're like, yo, my uncle told me there's going to be a race war. I'm going to get a machine gun. Yo, we're going to kill these white motherfuckers. And I'm right behind him just like,
shit.
Please don't kill me, dude. Like, and it's just like, you realize that it's all, like, there was a girl in my class who was like a black Muslim girl who went to mosque. She fucking hated me, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're all just, it's all trickling down, man, from like other people's shit.
It's just a mentality, and then that's what's so funny about like when you see like these Trump and all this shit now. Like, yo, that is like tenfold racism passed down to like some, like, you know what I mean? So it's like when I be seeing people when they like you see these Confederate, I'm like, yo, that like these people, they a lineage of racism, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to unteach these people this shit. Good luck with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think. And I think when you come from a place like Boston, that's kind of like, you know, it's like you gotta interact with different type of people, no matter, even though it's racist and shit.
Everyone here, if you work in the city, man, you're working with like, especially when you work like a blue collar job, which is what I've done my whole life.
Yeah, me too.
It's everyone, and you talk shit.
Whoever's
on the
willing
job.
to do the job.
It's like
whoever's willing
so
to do
many
it.
jobs with immigrants and broke ass white people and black people, and everyone like. We run their mouths and we say jokes and shit, but it's not like fuck you.
It's not malicious,
we're all just hating our lives, trying to get this paycheck, man.
Right.
No one wants to be here, dude.
Right.
We're all just trying to make this fucking money and hating the motherfuckers who pay us.
Right. That's how it is. Like you said, when you work, especially blue collar jobs, like it's like I said, it's just people who's willing to do that job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like. There's always gonna be somebody who you don't even know how they got that fucking job. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, like you mixing with all like I work with a white dude from fucking Pembroke, man. He got his little racist shit about him. He's not a bad dude though. I work with El Salvadorian dude straight from El Salvador. I know he got MS-13 ties because he slipped up a couple of times and said some wild shit to me, but I didn't. I was like, you know, I've heard wild shit, dog. I work with like white dudes from Brockton, fucking. You know, a black dude from wherever the fuck, you know what I mean? It's just like, and it's like, I've mixed with so many fucking people, like, I don't really, it's hard for me to, like, just flat out just hate a group of people. I hate people. I hate certain people, like, yo, you suck. And it's like, but to sit there and be like, all of you, it's just like,
it's kind of like gang shit, man, where, like, someone who you're close to gets into some shit, and then you formulate opinions, or a lot of it's just turf, man. Because like I would explain this to kids from the suburbs that, like, when I was growing up, white Irish kids from Southie and Charlestown and Dot would beat the fuck out of each other with baseball bats, man. Like you would go to meet up and just bash a dude's head in with a bat,
and go home
or
and
a
eat
shovel,
dinner,
or a stick, or anything. And so that we did that to each other.
Right.
And then when you added in a different neighborhood and race, it just added a different component.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was still like, I remember talking to like, I had a lot of friends from Dot, and even then we had this thing where we came from different hoods. So it was like, when I first started coming around to their hood, people would give me shit and they go, no, he's cool. And we're all white Irish kids.
Right.
But it's like how is it that...
Tribalism,
and I was like, why are we're the same fucking people, dude.
It's just tribalism.
We're all broke, man.
We're all poor, dog. Oh, shit. Hold on one second. Oh, no. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hold up. Can you hear me on the headphones?
I think.
Hold on one second. Yeah, what was you saying? What's up, bro? Yeah, if you want. Yes. All right. Yep. All right. Hello? All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Back on. Fucking people calling me. All right, cool. Freaking what the fuck was I about to say? I can't remember. But yeah, like you said, like it was just like fucking just madness, bro. It's fucking madness.
And it's a lot of it's just like, oh, somebody I care about got fucked with by someone who's from a different hood or looks different, and then it turns into a thing. And a lot of it's just manipulated, man. It's just society. It's easy if every person who's getting fucked over in America worked together, shit would change.
Yeah, real quick.
So how do you make sure they don't ever do that?
Yeah.
You fucking create a situation where they have to compete. Yeah, it's like, it's the scarcity dynamic. We're fighting as if there's no food when there are billionaires who literally have more money than they can throw away or burn. Right?
Exactly.
And we're sitting here fighting over city jobs or, like, dude, I explained, like, I remember going, when I went to college, and I met these white kids from suburban Massachusetts, and they were like, yo, we played this game, we drove through the projects, and we're like, find the white dude. And I'm like, well, the projects where I live are filled with white people.
Right.
Old Colony, Old Harbor, D Street projects, tons of white people. Right. And they were fighting with black people over who got the spot in the projects.
Right.
Like, can you imagine white and black people fighting over who gets to live in the projects?
Right.
Like, I explain that to people. Like, you're fighting over the projects, man.
Right. And this is like, I be feeling like with poor people in particular, and that's what people understand. I've worked with and maybe it's just because I'm from Boston, but I've worked with every type of poor person, and I mean every race of poor. I've met poor black people, poor white people, poor Spanish people, poor Indian people, poor everything, and it's all the same, dog. Trust me, all poor people are the fucking same, right? And it's like, I be feeling like just when you're poor, life's so shitty, you just kind of need something to fucking attach yourself to.
Yeah.
So it's just like, like people, like you said, that's why you'll see poor people claim a fucking hood. You know what I mean? Like, this hood, this is nothing, dog. A city could come in and shut this whole shit down in 2 seconds, dog. You know what I mean?
I've never met a rich dude with pride in where he came from.
Yeah.
I've never met a dude who's like, yo, what up, Brookline, bitch? You're fucking Newton, dude.
Right. They don't have to do stupid shit like that.
But every dude from fucking, I met the old, like, it's like that. It's, I even did it. Fucking for Southie, like I know dudes do it for Compton or Harlem. Well, like my cousin went to jail and he's like, oh, back when I went to jail, it was all about the berry. Like when black dudes would call Roxbury the berry.
Yeah.
So everyone had a fucking, you got to hold on to something, man.
I guess. All right, we've been going kind of hard. Let's wrap this up. Tell people. Yeah. Oh, he's outside?
Yeah.
Tell people where they can find you and all that shit.
You hit me up at Mike Bain Comedy, BAIN, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I got a podcast called Get Your Act Together with Mike Bain. It's on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. It's on all of them, man.
All right, bro. I want to thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, dope. That shit was fire, bro.
Dude, that was a good fucking
that shit was fire.
Yeah, everything.
If you don't like it, move out
I had
the
my
way,
phone on
nigga.
silent.
Beat,
Hit me up like 30, 40
beat,
Oh, he did?
beat, beat.